Okay, today we're doing symptoms of ADHD that are not talked about enough.
3 things you won't believe are related to ADHD.
Let's talk about ADHD.
When? ADHD advice for people who don't understand it all.
Trendy ADHD versus real ADHD.
When I got diagnosed with ADHD in February of 2026, I was so relieved because I thought to myself, wow, I can finally profit off of this. All this time, I thought I would need to get a real job, like work at an office or, God forbid, get a blue-collar job like most people with neurodevelopmental disorders have. But now I can sleep soundly, knowing that I'm selling courses to other people with ADHD who make minimum wage and cannot afford therapy or help. So if you have not been living under a rock lately, you might have noticed that ADHD has become a very trendy disorder, with many people online making videos about its struggles or either giving tips how to deal with it. And whenever something becomes mainstream on the internet, people will try to profit off of it, which explains the hundreds of ADHD influencers that have popped online recently. I was already sort of annoyed at the content that ADHD influencers made, where they dwelled more on the negative aspects of ADHD and also presented very broad concepts of ADHD to get as many views as possible and have as many people as possible relating to them. But after looking more into these people, I found out that it wasn't just about views. It was also about businesses, courses, and even scams. Hundreds of books written by people who don't really have any credentials except for the fact that they have ADHD, and many also having misleading credentials. So let's start off with the man that inspired this video, which is ADHD Vision. ADHD Vision is a really big ADHD influencer from Germany, and I feel that he is the perfect representation of the mental health influencer iceberg. The tip of the iceberg is the content they first start making that skyrockets them to fame, and it's mostly about relatable content about basic symptoms of ADHD. Very relatable. Then you get lower down the berg, and at that point you've exhausted most things you have to say about ADHD, and to avoid recycling all of your content, you just start making more general content to reach a wider audience. And in those cases, you kind of start to correlate everything with ADHD. I feel like everybody double checks their pockets. Like, forgetting isn't just a thing that people with ADHD have. People without ADHD can also forget their stuff at home. Everybody sets reminders for stuff. Everybody has a calendar. In fact, when I would tell people that I kept forgetting things, people without ADHD would tell me, have you tried having a calendar? And I would say no, because I would just keep forgetting to make a calendar. And also, this guy's from Germany. Germans fucking love calendars. I mean, I guess, I don't know, aren't people with ADHD supposed to be like spontaneous? I don't really get the planning in advance thing. Okay, it is a thing that like people with ADHD can get bored easily in relationships, but it's not like a definitive symptom of ADHD, because again, like, it's this whole thing of like correlating literally everything to ADHD. You can just have an avoidant attachment style, and that's also valid, and you can just not have ADHD, and it's not like a way to cope with undiagnosed ADHD. Self-imposed isolation. I mean, I don't know, people isolate for a lot of things. Again, this is the same thing of like, you correlate everything with ADHD because you have literally nothing left to talk about after years of making content about it. Like, yeah, there are many reasons to isolate yourself. Having undiagnosed ADHD and struggling with it can also be one of the reasons, I guess. And then finally, there is the rest of the iceberg below the water. Yeah, so this guy loves advertising this sound app on his Instagram, and he calls it his ADHD app. Now, first of all, can you not? There's a fly in my room. One thing that I don't love about that is that he never discloses that this is an ad, and he doesn't really like explain if like he owns the app himself, because he owns another company that we're going to get to later, but he doesn't disclose that he owns that one. So I think that he just advertises for them. And yeah, it's never disclosed that like this is an ad basically. And I think that is kind of shady. But yeah, he makes a lot of these advertisements where he basically like shows a reel and he says, oh, apparently this type of sound is supposed to make your ADHD brain go quiet. Recently, it's been like bilateral sounds.
He said one day you'll leave this world behind, so live a life you will remember. My father told me when I was just a child, these are the nights that never die.
If you don't know what bilateral sounds are, they're just sounds that like move from one ear to another, and they belong in like the category of bilateral stimulation. Now, bilateral stimulation is scientifically proven to help with anxiety. Like you can do bilateral stimulation to help calm yourself down, usually by like tapping your arms back and forth, but also by moving your eyes back and forth. It's also used in eye movement desensitization reprocessing, which is like a type of trauma therapy. I have not seen any studies. I looked it up, by the way, to see if there are any studies. I didn't find anything on bilateral sounds helping you focus when you have ADHD. So I think that's kind of odd. Then again, bilateral sounds are useful for like calming yourself down. I'm not saying that they're not, but he really phrases it as like it's an ADHD app, and these sounds are made to help you focus when you have ADHD, and it's not that specific in reality. I like clicked the link to like go to the website, and it says support your everyday life with personalized science-backed soundscapes for free. And then there's like, you actually have to pay, so $69.99 a year. So actually it's not free. So actually like what are you talking about? But yeah, the fact that it says science-backed and then he advertises it as well with like all these bilateral sounds are designed to help you relax, and he doesn't disclose that it's an ad, and you also have to pay for the service. Like just go on Spotify or YouTube and look up like focusing calming sounds bilateral stimulation, and you don't have to pay for it and support this like shady thing. Not to mention, under one of the reels where he was advertising this app, somebody commented, can you please tell us where to find these songs on the app, please? And then somebody replied and said, you don't. The songs aren't in the app. What a waste of an app. The ad is misleading. The app does not have bilateral tunes. Go download Calm. I also can't find it on the app. So yeah, pretty shady ADHD Vision. He also has like a business that he has started linked on his Instagram bio that is called the Focus Revolution. When I first saw this, I had no idea what it was because yeah, it was really unclear what it was. In the bio, it says, eliminate procrastination, executive dysfunction, and achieve laser focus instantly. And then it says how it works, and it gives you a link. So when you click on that link, it puts you on this page, which says, for everyone battling ADHD, do this to eliminate procrastination, executive dysfunction, and achieve laser focus and execution instantly. Without journals, willpower, discipline, or any productivity hacks. Doubt that, but okay. And then it's so, yeah, there's like this fuck-ass thumbnail. And then there's nothing else on the page. Like there isn't an actual page that like explains the business. You just have to watch this video. So we're gonna watch it. First of all, this video does not show you how long it is. And also, because it doesn't show you like a progress bar on the video, you can't skip. So you have to watch the whole thing and you have no idea how long it is. So that's very ADHD friendly. Okay, I'm gonna change the speed to 1.5 times because I watched it a month ago and it seemed pretty long. It seemed like 15 minutes long. And I watched it on 2 times speed. So yeah, like right off the bat, let's just put it on 1.5.
Right now, I'm going to expose an unknown yet explosively powerful method that has transformed chronic procrastinators into thriving productivity powerhouses. This isn't just some fluff. I'm talking about a scientifically proven, absolutely fail-safe system that will eliminate your procrastination, erase executive paralysis and your endless feeling of being stuck, vaporize any sign of low motivation, and skyrocket your productivity to finally get things done. All like at the push of a button. Before I dive into the how, I need to share my journey with you.
My guy, just get to the point. I don't want to know about your journey. I want to know what the fuck this business is about. You're not telling me. I have to like watch you talk about your entire life story before I decide if your product is worth it or not, or if it's gonna help me. This is just like bad business practice.
The journey to this discovery is as crucial as the method itself. If you don't know the backstory, you won't grasp how all of this works, and you won't be able to apply it to your own life.
No, I think I'm intelligent enough to like grasp how it works without like an anecdote. So
I was stuck, screaming at myself, why can't I just do it? What's wrong with me? Why am I like this?
This is something that like 99% people with ADHD go through, which is why I don't need to hear your sob story to like understand how this would help me. Like, yeah, I know all of this. I've been going through it.
I wasn't weird or lazy or dumb. I just have ADHD. Finally, an explanation for all my life's problems. At that moment, the weight of years lifted in an instant. Relief washed over me. It was truly liberating.
Yeah, I got the same relief because I realized I can sell stupid shit on Instagram and then make money that way.
I remember the exact day when I took medication for the first time. All of a sudden, I felt like Bradley Cooper on the Limitless pill. I picked up the most boring information at hyperspeed, and it felt so easy. After a while, I felt less and less of the effects of this pill and had to raise my dose to still get the same effect out of it as before, and this is where everything started to crumble. My professional life was picking up steam, but my personal life went on this extreme downward trajectory. Every time I went on medication, I'd feel great for about 6 hours, but then I'd have the worst come down ever. Not only that, but also my relationships took a toll. My girlfriend at the time told me I was no longer the Nick she once knew, and soon we were on the verge of breaking up, which added just another layer to my emotional strain and already complicated feelings.
This is a very real issue that people with ADHD go through. A lot of the time, you start taking meds and then they sort of wear off, you build tolerance towards them, and you develop dependence, and then the come down becomes really bad and really hard to handle. Stimulants have a lot of side effects and they don't work for a lot of people, and that's really unfortunate. So this is a very like real issue that he is describing.
I eventually found a 2008 study on PubMed that gave me some of the answers I needed. It explained that people with ADHD naturally have extremely low dopamine levels. This means we naturally have low internal willpower, motivation, and ability to focus, especially when we do things we don't enjoy, because dopamine is the neurotransmitter that controls all of this.
Did your psychiatrist not teach you this? Damn, that's a really bad psychiatrist then. Like that's what stimulants do. Like they're stimulants. Like the whole concept of stimulants, like speed and stuff, like it triggers your dopamine. Yeah, I don't okay. Okay, to some of what he did after he stopped taking Ritalin is that he just started taking supplements that could improve his dopamine. Of course, those supplements are not gonna have an effect anywhere near as effective as stimulants, as meth, basically. So then he hired a coach to meet up with on a call every single week where he could basically say what he wanted to get done and then present the things he got done to the coach as an external motivator for completing tasks. He said that this was ineffective because he would always do tasks last minute before the meeting with the coach and he always just felt stressed. So then he decided to basically have an online call with the coach every single day for an hour where he would do his work and the coach would just be on the call watching him do his work. And he said that that made him productive every single time. Now, yeah, that makes sense that would be productive if you have somebody who you're paying to watch you. You don't want to look like a fucking idiot in front of them not doing your work when you're literally paying them like so much money so they can watch you do your work. So that makes sense. But he goes on to say that it was way too expensive, so he needed to find like another way to combat the price of the coach with something else. Then essentially he tried doing the same thing with a friend. So go on call with a friend and they can both do work for a certain amount of time and keep each other accountable. But he said that he never got anything done because neither of them would take each other seriously enough to actually be productive in front of each other. So then finally we start discovering what this business thing is after I don't know how many minutes. I'm gonna count how many minutes it took me to watch this so far. After telling his whole life story about dealing with ADHD and whatnotisms, he is finally revealing what this is actually about. So he basically said that he had the idea to get a bigger group of people with ADHD to split the costs of the life coach so they can all hop on call at the same time with a life coach who watches them get stuff done. What this is, which he doesn't name for some reason, is body doubling. It's just body doubling. And it is another productivity hack, actually, even though the website says, without journals, willpower, discipline, or any productivity hacks. It also requires discipline to body double, but okay. Body doubling is a productivity strategy where you perform a task in the presence of another person to improve focus and defeat procrastination. The body double does not need to help or even know what you're doing. Their mere presence provides gentle accountability and shared momentum. Body doubling is used very often. I do it myself. He said that he tried doing body doubling with his friend. Well, he didn't say that exactly, but he basically did body doubling with his friend and that it didn't work because they couldn't take each other seriously. Okay, so just get another friend that will keep you more accountable. Do you have one friend that can help you in your entire social life? Like, I know there are people who are friends of mine that I can absolutely not body double with because they're just not great people to do it with. They don't keep me accountable at all. They don't keep quiet. I just don't take them seriously myself. But there are other people in my life that I do feel comfortable body doubling with. Like sometimes when I need to get something done, I would just tell one of those friends that will keep me accountable and I will just go over to her place. And if she sees me being distracted, she's going to tell me off for it. So I do feel a sense of responsibility there that I would feel with a life coach. I don't want to annoy my friend or disappoint her by basically like having her waste her time hosting me in her house while I don't do the work that I so desperately needed to get done and is the reason why I'm there. So yeah, like instead of just getting another friend to help you with body doubling that would keep you more accountable, your next step was paying 100 euros per hour to a life coach every single day and then starting a business? I think that's a little bit extreme, but okay. On top of that, because you split the cost with multiple people, there are multiple people on the call at the same time. And it goes from a one-on-one thing where you take full accountability to more of a classroom situation. Like, for example, in this screenshot of the call, there are how many people? 25, 24, and I'm assuming one of them is the life coach. So 24 people trying to get things done. And when it's a group setting, people feel less accountable. Like, for example, imagine a classroom full of high schoolers or college students. People are much more rowdy, they're talking to each other, they lose focus easily. But if you were to get tutored by someone one-on-one, you will of course not do that. You will not be noisy or annoying or really get distracted as much because you are having one-on-one time and you're solely responsible for whatever happens at that moment. But when it's a big group of people, that type of accountability is lost. So I genuinely don't think that this would realistically work that much. I think that it's not worth it to pay for this. There are like groups that you can make with other people where you get together to get things done as well, and you can assign a coordinator to that group. Like, for example, my university, you know, it's not necessarily university students that would need this service, but just bringing up an example, my university just has a study group by default that you can go and get things done, and they have a coordinator there. But besides that, I feel like it's just one of those instances where like you kind of see the capitalist, individualistic hellscape that our world is right now, because instead of having the it takes a village mentality where you actually try to like shape a community where you'll try to help each other and get things done, you instead push out a subscription service and you advertise it in this super shady way through this like unskippable video without a timestamp where you have to get reeled in by committing to it and like developing a sunken cost fallacy essentially while watching it. Like, I just don't fuck with this. I think it's just weird. I think it's just kind of shady, you know? I think that you're not trying to genuinely help people with ADHD in this situation. I think that a big motivation here is money, or at least you're just not like aware enough of good business practices and also group dynamics. I'm not sure. Like, maybe this guy is truly just fully innocent and naive, but part of me thinks that that's not the case. Okay, I'm gonna move on from ADHD Vision and we're gonna move on to our next ADHD influencer, who is Connor DeWolfe. Connor DeWolfe is an actor and, well, also an ADHD influencer. By the way, do not take a shot every time I say ADHD or you will die. He mostly just makes skits about ADHD, and he's also promoting the shows and movies that he is on his Instagram account. Matthew634. What's that? Matthew 3. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Wow. You know, personally, I like to say that I have one leg on yesterday, one leg on tomorrow, and I'm pissing on today. But this is also pretty good. Okay, so let's see. Remind me to drink water. Real. I also never remember to drink water. You know what? Now that I said that, refreshing. Yeah, so like as I said, it's mostly just reels about living with ADHD and also some of his like acting stuff. I'm not gonna show anything by him because it's like it's really standard like ADHD skits, you know. But what really sparked my interest was when I clicked on his link tree because I was interested to see like what he's linking, you know. So the first link is Connor DeWolfe with "Oh no" on English. English. Okay. Let's see what the fuck that is. Okay. Calm in the palm of your hand. Sleek, totally silent fidget tools to help channel restless energy into presence and focus. Okay, dude. Oh. That's not appropriate. Okay, dude. Those are fidget toys. Okay, sure. Okay, fine. Products. Okay, and it's just like these like roller things, I guess, and he's also this Connor guy is partnering with them. Did he contribute to designing them? I have no idea. But let's see. 25 euros and 95 cents. Now I know because Americans are gonna watch this. That is, yeah, almost $30 for a fidget toy. Oh my god, and this is the plastic one. The aluminium one is $35.95. Jesus Christ, how much is that in dollars? You know what? I'm not gonna look that up. Okay, make the math yourselves. Wow, okay. And they also sell a keychain case for another 13 euros. Amazing. Okay, here's my advice. You can go to Flying Tiger and get a stress ball for like 4 euros. Like, I have no idea why you would get this. And actually, you know what? Just to make sure that this isn't like, you know, an ethical business that like produces their products in like the US or something and doesn't use like unjust labor or whatever, I'm gonna also check that out. Okay, so I'm just gonna assume China, okay? So it's not like ooh, support like an ethical business or whatever. Our products are expensive because they're high quality and we pay our workers. Like, they don't even advertise that on their page. So it is just overpriced fidget toys that are not worth buying, in my opinion. So, okay, he's got that going on. But then right after that, Test Your World, Finally Know What You're Breathing by Matthew DeWolfe Kickstarter. Okay, what's in your air? Your filter knows. Over 50% of homes have mold, but only 5% test. 942 euros pledged of 3,958 goal. Funding unsuccessful. Bet. So he's just promoting his brother's like failed Kickstarter that is not like available anymore or something. And then like, okay, then he sells his merch, which I'm not gonna pay attention to. It's just merch about like neurodivergency. And then there's a home air quality test. Get your kit for $69. Nice. I like some of Connor DeWolfe's reels, but what the fuck does he know about air quality? I mean, okay, obviously, I think he's just promoting like his brother's business or something like that, but I just think that's so funny to just like do that on the link tree, because I scrolled through his Instagram and he has like no videos about like the actual business that his brother has. It's just like the links on his link tree. So that you see that, like you go to his link tree, you're like, I don't know, check it out, get merch or something, see what he has, and you see like this, and I think that's really funny. Like, okay, King, get your bag or whatever. Well, okay, he's not getting a bag. He's promoting his brother's business. Okay, Connor's brother, get that bag. Jesus Christ. Okay, on to the next one. Cherry ADHD. She really made me laugh. Cherry ADHD. AU ADHD mom coach and SLT. ADHD and autism support. Best ADHD tools. No diagnostic tool. And then it has her link tree. Okay, first of all, my and my daughter's current hyperfocus.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're...
There's no way this isn't an ad. Bitch. Come on, dude. It's a fucking piano game. Like, okay. Best ADHD tools. Piano game that I've been sponsored to promote. All things ADHD. Okay. This is the actual like ADHD help, you know. I'm excited about this. I want to know. I want ADHD help. Simply Piano, our latest hyperfocus. Okay, we got that. You love Simply Piano. 3 Spirit alcohol alternative. 15% off with Cherry ADHD. Drinks include no tropics and botanicals.
What?
What is this? World of Nicks. Oh, it's just alcohol? That's the ADHD tool? It's alcohol? Oh, now I know why my dad is an alcoholic. It all makes sense now. What the fuck? Oh no, non-alcoholic elixir. Okay, it's a non-alcoholic elixir you added to something with alcohol. Okay, I see. It's like drink mixers. Yeah, drink mixers like definitely, you know, help with my ADHD. Then after that, 15% off 3 Spirits US non-alcoholic drinks, functional drinks. Get 20% off my Empower Your ADHD course. Oh yeah, I would love to take an ADHD course from a woman that is promoting non-alcoholic elixirs in like the same page. What the hell are we doing here? Things that have been a game changer as an ADHD mom. Okay, I'm sure. I'm not gonna look into that this video would be too long if I did so. Rare patient voice, get paid $120 per hour for medical studies and surveys? Okay, so we have Simply Piano, the drink elixirs thing. I don't fucking know what it's called. Then the ADHD course. And then gaining money from medical studies and surveys. That is so funny, and I have no idea how you expect to be taken seriously if you do this shit. Imagine if my therapist would just advertise products to me in the middle of our therapy. Yeah, so, you know, after the EMDR we did, I feel like I've just been more sensitive to certain triggers, and I probably just become overall more sensitive to like external stimuli. Hala pescador, white wine, okay. And yeah, like for example, like the other day some guy approached me and like I immediately like entered fight or flight. I just got so scared and I didn't know how to handle it. Soft baby wipes, flushable. Okay, should I just fucking kill myself? 25 caliber, black gun with silencer to shoot yourself in the head? Oh my god. That's just wild, man. I will not give you any money to help me with ADHD. Like, it seems you don't have it figured out, because what the hell is this? I'm not gonna look into her content. It's also just like, I don't know, all ADHD content is the same. Like, okay, but you don't look like if you got ADHD. Simple ADHD hacks that make mornings a little less stressful. Like, okay. You get the gist. It's just the link tree again, man. It's just so insane. Last person I'm gonna talk about is ADHD coach Ryan Meyer. I don't know how it's pronounced, but he is a certified ADHD coach. Who the hell certified you? Is there like a certification now for ADHD coaches? Does the American Psychological Association like hand out honorary psychology licenses? On a mission to empower ADHDers towards their greatness. One-on-one coaching, group coaching. Book a call here. First of all, pinned post AI. ADHD in women, how Coach Ryan is using ADHD group coaching to increase awareness. Okay, but have you tried raising awareness for like how AI is gonna take ADHD people's jobs? Nobody wants your unproductive, distracted ass when there is a machine to just serve fucking greedy CEOs all day long. Merch. Okay, I want to know what merch he has actually. I fear this is worse than a Stanley Cup. Yeah, I think that's definitely worse. ADHD. Oh. Fucking hell. Hashtag ADHD. Oh my god. Hashtag ADHD. Oh no. Caution, ADHD on board. Oh my god, if I see this on your car, I'm rear-ending you. I don't even have a driver's license, but I don't care. I'm getting in another person's car and I'm rear-ending you. Focused. Hyper-focused mode. I am a lot. I don't like you. Wait, why ADHD habits fail and how to make atomic one stick. A guide to building sustainable habits for ADHD brains. Oh, so he has his own book as well and it's 50% off. So it seems like it's very successful. Okay, join the free community. Why do I doubt that it's free? I'm not even gonna click on that. Book a free call. Okay. Free masterclass. Okay. Free assessment. Damn. Okay, so it's all free. How do you make your money? With the ADHD merch. Try Juice Plus today. Oh boy. Yeah, it's just like supplements. Yeah, he's also advertising supplements on his Linktree after like offering his coaching and his book and everything. You're a certified coach and you're selling Juice Plus next to the links for your ADHD assessments. Wait a fucking second. Free ADHD assessment. You can't do that. You're not a psychologist. What the fuck? I feel like I brushed over that. What the hell? Find out in 15 quick questions and get a personalized plan to reclaim your time, energy, and confidence. Bro, you can't do that. You can't give ADHD assessments as a fucking like entrepreneur influencer. Oh my god. Somebody report this guy. I want to take the ADHD quiz. Oh, I have to put in my name and my phone and my email number so you can spam me with stuff. No, thank you. I'm actually good. I'm just speechless. I don't know what to say. Like, I feel like we understand why this is wrong, right? Like, I feel like I don't have to explain to you why this is ridiculous, right? Okay, I think I've had enough of the ADHD influencers. I think that I've been rage baited enough today to just lose all hope in the world and see how mental health has become so severely monopolized by like everybody and their aunt. On a serious note, ADHD has clearly become like a really hot topic, and I don't just think that it's because our phones have completely ruined our attention span, but there's also just a really big diagnosis craze right now. Therapy is very in right now. Everybody's going to therapy. Everybody's obsessed with diagnoses. And there's just in general this huge misconception that there's a split between the neurodivergent people and then the neurotypicals. Like an us versus them mentality. You know, neurotypicals versus me. A neurodivergent person, But that's not necessarily the truth. Neurodivergence is a broad spectrum, and whether you actually get clinically diagnosed or not depends on the statistical cutoff that has just been determined by a bunch of old guys in like the 80s and 90s. This is to say that it's quite subjective, and the system by which we judge it is already quite flawed, and that flawed system is basically going to judge whether you are deserving of help or not, whether you are deserving of treatment or not. So even those below the threshold of clinically significant, or people who also struggle with things. There are people who also face depression, who face attention issues, who face motivation issues. This whole like concept of the neurotypical is simply an amalgamation of all the social norms and life norms that we have been taught, put into one single ideal person that we just kind of use as like a puppet to like point everything towards. But there is no such thing as like the ideal neurotypical person or the perfect neurotypical person. We are all trying to just follow these norms and ideals, and nobody's ever going to perfectly fit into that mold. We basically live in a system that was built for a person that doesn't exist. And whilst it is a good thing that a lot of attention is being brought upon neurodevelopmental disorders, it is kind of a double-edged sword, because a lot of the time over-identifying with your disorder can be really bad. Your disorder is not your identity at the end of the day. It is part of it, and like the whole point of the existence of diagnoses is that you basically have to minimize that disorder because it is a pain in the ass to have. When I was first diagnosed, I would attribute everything to my ADHD. Like, I would forget my keys and I would think, oh, it's due to my ADHD. Like, people forget their keys anyways without ADHD. People forget things, people get distracted. Nobody likes watching a 2-hour web lecture. And the more I blamed my shortcomings on my ADHD, like every single tiny shortcoming to my ADHD, that just made me feel out of control. It made me feel like a prisoner of my own brain. And in the end, it just lowered my self-esteem, and I felt really, really depressed, and I wasn't getting anything done. And I feel like it's also good to realize that ADHD is not necessarily specific symptoms like forgetting things or losing focus sometimes. It's more so the frequency of these things and the pattern of these things and how the bigger picture looks according to these things. And yeah, that thing is really subjective. So a lot of people tend to misinterpret that, and they think to themselves, oh, I lose things sometimes, I misplace things sometimes, I have mood swings, or my attention span is really short because I can't pay attention to my lectures. I hate watching my lectures. I hate studying. And they immediately think ADHD. And it is difficult to actually determine whether you have ADHD based on these things, unfortunately, because these symptoms isolated exist in everybody. I just think this whole like diagnosis craze and putting everything in a box and creating social identities around disorders like their zodiac signs, it's very in right now, but it is eventually gonna go away probably. Mental health positivity started out as a really good thing, and now it's kind of ended into this really annoying thing, but this whole thing was doomed from the start when we decided to put big psychology in the forefront and start using DSM as another Bible. Therapy is inherently capitalist to begin with, but I'm not gonna go into that. I think that's all I have to say for now. I'm not gonna like recite an entire thesis on a YouTube video. Just take care of yourself, speak to a mental health specialist if you can. Don't buy courses from ADHD influencers. Just make sure you don't actually fall into the ADHD or mental health influencer echo chamber. A lot of the time, as I said, it doesn't help to over-identify with your disorder. Like, it's good to find tips on the internet, but just getting trapped in, like, yeah, as I said, this echo chamber of multiple people complaining about their disorder and just being doomers about it on the internet, that does not help. You need to get out. You need to interact with people who don't just have ADHD. You need to experience life without ADHD defining every facet of it. Also, if you're feeling generous, you can like this video and subscribe. This is my first ever YouTube video, so none of you know who I am. My name is Kara, and I hope to make more videos in the future because I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So yeah, I hope you see me again. I hope you actually like this video. You can give me feedback on anything that I said. Just as a reminder, this is like an opinion piece.
It's opinions based.
I'm not speaking from the standpoint of like an actual expert. This is a commentary, funny video after all, so don't take it too much to heart. And yeah, I'm absolutely open to feedback if anybody actually watches this video. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching and bye.